Hi everybody, I'm Mr. David.
And I'm Miss Roberta.
And we're here for another great episode of
Virtual 4-H. Hey wait, where's Mr. Caleb? You're not Mr. Caleb.
No, Mr. Caleb's at home working on a very special project.
Oh, well we're excited to have you, Mr. David, and guess what we're going to be talking about today?
What?
Project Achievement. Project Achievement is where you get to talk about anything that interests you, your favorite subject, anything you want. The ideas are endless. In fact, what you do with Project Achievement is going to bring you lifelong skills. For example, you're going to learn oral and written communication. You're going to learn all about public speaking and gain a lot of confidence. And of course, you're going to be able to organize all of that into a great speech.
Hold on. You want me to do what?
Oh, Mr. David, it's not that hard, I promise. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You just need to write a speech that includes an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Then you'll create some posters to go along with it, and finally, you'll gather up your visual aids or items that relate to your topic.
So wait a second. That doesn't sound very easy to me. What will I talk about?
Oh, Mr. David, you can talk about anything you want. The options are endless. In fact, along with your packet of stuff this month, you're going to get a Friends magazine. This one's different than last time, and it includes an entire list of things to choose from. All kinds of categories, all the way from agriculture, historic people, anything you want.
Wow, that is a lot. So I can talk about anything like the ocean, or maybe even farms, or even food.
Yes, Mr. David, you can talk about any of those things, but what I would suggest is not making it too broad. You want to get a little specific. For example, if you're going to talk about something on the farm, you want to pick a specific animal or something that happens on the farm, like hay baling. Or if you're talking about the ocean, maybe pick a plant or an animal that lives specifically in the ocean. And when you're talking about food, maybe choose a specific kind of food like dairy products. And you could talk about how they affect the world or the different dairy products that there are.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Like we said, we want you to pick something that interests you. Like I said, don't forget about your handy dandy Friends magazine, because it has all kinds of helpful tips, ideas, and what category your speech could go in. But if you don't know what category the speech you chose goes in, don't you fret, because Mr. Caleb and I are going to take each speech and put it in the category where it works best.
Okay, so let's say I've picked my subject. Should I go to a .com website to find all my information?
Well, you are going to want to do research.
Okay.
But you know the difference between .com, .edu, and .org. There's lots of information out there on the internet. Do you know which one's the best and which ones aren't very good to use for research for a topic?
Yes, now I remember. So it's always important. This is like my teacher said, always important to use .edu or .gov websites and not always .com. It's also important too to remember that we don't just only use websites. I mean, we can use anything. We can use magazines or newspapers or books. What? Or yes?
Could we use our Uncle Joe who raises pigs on his pig farm if we were talking about pig farming?
Absolutely, because he knows a lot about that subject. He's an expert in that area. So if you're doing a project on bugs, find someone that knows a lot of things about bugs. Or maybe you're doing a project on snakes. Maybe a special kind of snake. Yeah. But maybe your friend has a pet snake and they know a lot about their snake. You can ask them or their parents about the different type of snake that they own, and you can talk about that and use them to help you with your research.
Well, that sounds easy. So once you have your research, you're going to want to take your speech and put it into 3 parts. You want it to be about 4 to 6 minutes long. Don't go over 6 minutes. That's too much. But 4 to 6 minutes is just right. You're also going to put your speech on some numbered note cards. We'll talk a little bit more about the importance of those later on. But like I said, 3 main parts. You want it to have a catchy introduction. You want the body, it should go well and be organized and cover 3 to 5 main points. And finally, you want to have a conclusion. A conclusion is what the audience will remember. It's where you review your main points and you leave them with something to think about.
This is really interesting, but is an introduction like when I meet a new person and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Mr. David, it's nice to meet you," like that?
Well, not exactly like that, Mr. David. Yes, you do want to introduce yourself and name what county you're from in your introduction, but an introduction is a little bit more about the project or the speech topic that you've chosen. So you want to have a catchy title in your introduction and maybe even add a little humor and maybe have a short story or some surprising facts about your topic. And if you're talking about someone famous, you could even add a famous quote.
That's a really good idea. So that's the introduction, but you also talked about a body. Now, the body of your speech, is that like the arms and the legs of it?
Oh, Mr. David, we're not talking about our actual body. However, you do, as we have 2 arms and 2 legs, we do want to have main points in our body. So you're going to want to have 3 to 5 main ideas that pertain to the subject of your speech. You want to be sure those main ideas are in a logical order. For example, our hands are up here and our feet are down there. That makes sense. Your main points are going to want to be in the same logical order. So you might put them in order of importance, that they happened. Or you might put, if you're talking about a historical person, you might do it in chronological order, from when they were born to when they invented something. Cause and effect is another good order. Whatever works for you. You also want to state those points very clearly. And like you said, Mr. David, do your research and have solid facts.
Wait,
Yes?
what is a fact? And I mean, how is it different from an opinion?
That's a good question, because it's important to use definitions, examples, and facts. So, for example, if I were to say, the Braves stink, is that fact or opinion?
That has got to be opinion.
What do you think? All right, you're right. If you chose opinion, that's an opinion, even though I think they stink and it should be fact. What's another fact or opinion that you can think of?
I've got one. This is a good one. Is this fact or opinion? The Atlanta Braves are a team in Atlanta, Georgia.
What do you think? If you chose fact, you're right. It's a fact. The Atlanta Braves are a team in Atlanta, Georgia. So a fact is something that is actual and true, whereas an opinion is something that you think or feel.
Okay, that's very good. That's good to know.
And also when you're in the body, you want to make your transitions from each of your main points smooth by using words like first, next, or another important thing to know. Things like that.
So this makes sense then. So when we get to the conclusion, this is where we want people to remember me and what I talked about the entire time. So the conclusion is really, really important. So for your conclusion, you want to start with a smooth transition from the body of your speech to the conclusion. So you can say things like, today I have talked to you about, or I hope you have learned a lot about, or you can even say, always remember, about whatever you talked about in the body of your speech. And this is where you review the 3 to 5 main points of your speech, so the audience remembers what you've talked about, and that's important. You don't want to talk about nothing and then remember nothing. You want to make sure they remember what you've talked about, and then always end with a strong final statement, fact, maybe even a quote or story or joke, so they absolutely remember your speech and make sure that it was interesting.
Yes, you want to make that conclusion as memorable as possible because they say that's the one thing your audience is sure to remember. Conclusions are where it's at. But remember to put your speech on numbered note cards so you can easily keep track of where you are. You don't want what you're reading off of to be distracting. If you choose a paper, it can make a lot of noise and make it hard to hear, or you might get nervous and cover your face. Note cards are gonna help you, and if you number them, then when you get a little nervous and drop them, you can find exactly where you were and start again.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, so now let's talk about some visual aids then. And these are really important too for your speech and your project. So with that, I came ready for talking about visual aids because I've got my contacts in to aid with my vision.
Well, those do aid in your vision, but that's not the visual aids we're talking about. We want to aid in your speech, so we want something visual for your audience to see. So the best projects have 2 to 4 posters. They're going to have a title poster, and the other posters will talk about your main points. You want to make your posters eye-catching. For example, this child put a poster about a mantis shrimp. It's colorful, it's eye-catching, and you can read it from afar. You want to practice your speech with your posters. As you're reading your speech, you want to talk about your posters and point to them. At the end, during your conclusion, you're going to want to go back to your titles poster again. You can use a table if you have items to refer to during your speech. For example, if I was giving a speech about jump ropes, I might bring a jump rope. But if I'm not going to pick it up and talk about it, then I don't want to bring it. Now do you see, visual aids aren't in your eyes. They're posters that talk about and give your audience a visual experience.
Now that makes sense.
Finally, the most important thing you want to do is dress the part.
This is where you get to add even more creativity to your speech. So, if I'm giving a project maybe on the Atlanta Braves, I want to wear their jersey or something like that to talk about, to show what I'm talking about, kind of as a visual aid itself.
It is a visual aid. Or if you're giving a speech about Scotland, or even just Highlander cattle, you could wear a t-shirt about Scotland Highlander cattle. Now remember, you want to wear nice pants if you choose a themed t-shirt, because it'll show you really care about what you're wearing.
So that's important. So if you don't have maybe a clever outfit, or maybe you're doing a project on strawberries and you can't dress up like a strawberry, we suggest
wearing your Sunday best
to give a good impression to the judges.
Wait, judges? Is this a competition?
Yes and no. So no, because it's just a great way to share with your class something that you do or something you find interesting. But yes, because you have the opportunity to go to the district competition in Rome, Georgia.
Oh, that's exciting!
For the district competition, you need to come by our office to sign up and to practice for the district competition. It was just outside of school. So that'll be at the end of January next year.
So we have lots of time to practice if you want to go to district.
But remember, to get to go to the Georgia Highlands College in Rome, Georgia for the district competition, you have to come by and sign up and practice. But this sounds really lame, talking about a lot of practice and making a speech, everything.
It's a lot of work.
Actually, a lot of fun. So much fun that we get to eat Chick-fil-A! Yes! Chick-fil-A. It's so fun. All students who compete at Georgia Highlands College also get invited to our 4-H awards banquet. Yay! Which means more food. So, as always, don't forget to contact Mr. Caleb, me, Mr. David, or Miss Roberta if you need help with your project, have any questions, or want to sign up. We can't wait to see what you come up with.
We're excited. That's a lot of information. But guess what? I got a hold of some leaked video footage from the Catoosa County Project Achievement Spokesperson auditions. And I think it's gonna give you a lot of do's and don'ts for your speeches. So check this out.
Hi, my name is Roberta and I'm auditioning for the Project Achievement Spokesperson. Today I'll be talking about goats. This is my goat Violet, and to feed a goat you need feed and you need to water the goats twice a day on a very hot day, and and that's my speech. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, your outfit is so cute. And I want that goat, but sadly no live animals are allowed. So sadly, no.
You're so right. She can't bring live animals in here. She could have definitely used some visual aids instead.
No, no, no. Did she ever read the rule book?
I'm McKinley Pepper, and I'm auditioning for Project Achievement Spokesperson. So, my speech is about life in the soil. Dig deeper. It is talking about several animals that live in the dirt. Some of these animals are snails, bacteria, earthworms, and arthropods. I have another picture poster that has more animals and some repeating.
Who wears a sweatshirt? But he did have a nice smile. But that's a no though.
Although he had a great effort and had a great attitude, he wasn't very well prepared, so maybe next time.
He can't even say the words right on his poster. We can't even see. Strike out.
Hi, I'm Amy Cross.
Hi, I'm Jenna. This is our project on how
To
grow
giant.
pumpkins. Our first poster is about preparation,
You'll need soil,
seed choice,
timing,
planting and spacing,
insect and disease control,
shading,
harvesting.
and marketing.
Thank you, judges.
Thanks.
No one wears shorts and a t-shirt during a speech. Do they think they're going to camp? Because that's a no for me.
Well, although they had excellent teamwork, you're not allowed to work together on a project, so it's a no for me.
I can't even see the words on their poster. Highlighter, I think not.
Hi, my name is Jake, and I'm auditioning to be the Catoosa County Project Achievement Spokesperson. And I'm doing my project on how to grow giant pumpkins. For preparation, you will need to look at soil, seeds, and timing, along with planting. Thank you, judges.
Wow, he looks so handsome. I give that a yes.
That was a great speech. He had really good posters and he memorized it too. It's a definite yes for me.
Finally, a poster I can read. I guess it's a yes.
Hello, my name is Chelsea Brewster, and I'm auditioning for Catoosa County Project Achievement Spokesperson. It's the circle of life, and it moves a soul through despair and hope. through faith and love till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life.
She's so beautiful, and I wish I could have that outfit. So I give that a definite yes. But what kind of song was that? No intro? No.
Wow, those were some interesting auditions.
That is for sure. But we know that you can do a much better job. And we can't wait to see what happens when you unleash your imagination, to see what you come up with. Now, David, since you're a guest speaker here today, I have a few little things to go over with. Every month, we get what's called a green sheet in your packets. And remember, read your green sheet because it tells all the things going on, due dates, competitions, or different judging events. But Mr. Caleb and I started a special contest this month. That's right, your October newsletter. If you get the orange newsletter, that means if your green sheet isn't green, it's orange, it means you win!
Yes.
That's right.
What do you mean?
Well, you take your orange sheet, your orange newsletter sheet, and you bring it right here to the office, and we will get you a cool prize.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you got the orange sheet, you're a winner. Bring it into the office and get your prize. All right, and then the other thing we do at the end of every meeting, which they're a little new too, they've only been in 4-H for about a month, is go over our pledge. So I'm just gonna review. When we say our pledge, we stand up and we point to our head, our heart, our hands, and our health. And finally, don't forget, we punch the sky, not the guy, when we say world.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Everybody, if you could please stand up to say our pledge. All right. I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. For my club, my community, my country, and my world. Well, we'll see you at our next 4-H video.
No. Miss Roberta, we can't not tell them that because we will see them when they come into the office to sign up for Project Achievement.
That's right. Come in here to sign up for Project Achievement. And don't